Okay, so in this video I'm going to set up a power supply to a wee 555 A stable. Set up the power supply for 9 volts, and then I'm going to look at the waveform generated with my voltcraft oscilloscope, and I'm also going to measure the frequency with a voltcraft multimeter. So the board is meant to be set up for 9 volts, so if you've seen these dual power supplies before, you adjust that. That's the kind of rough adjustment, if you like, and then there's a fine adjust as well there. So you get yourself kind of quite close, then use the fine adjustment and set your current limit with this one. Set it a wee bit lower like that. It's not actually switched on until you press that wee button down there. Then on my scope, over here, I'm going to use channel 1. So I'm going to connect my lead to channel 1, and then I'm going to connect that on the red part of the scope lead to the test point on the circuit, there. And remember, I need to put the black part of my scope lead into that earth terminal there, or that 0 volt terminal there, to get a common ground. Then I would switch that on. I can see my LEDs flashing, so it is A stable. I can see on my scope I've got some kind of a waveform, but not really anything I can see yet. I'm going to bring this in until I've got something I can see. There we go. And then once I've got something I can see, I can either use my time base with my volts paired with my periodic time, and then do 1 over that to get my frequency. So I could either do my time base here, 200 milliseconds times how many boxes it is for one wave, or I should be able to, now that I can see the wave, I should be able to measure it. So 865 millihertz. I'll be able to confirm that by calculation as well. Now I'm also going to measure this using a voltcraft multimeter. So this is the voltcraft multimeter here. So that's my voltcraft multimeter. You'll see round in the multimeter there is a terminal that's for hertz. So the multimeter should usually be like this, and if you want to measure frequency, you would turn it round to hertz in that part there. Then you'll see on this terminal here, it says volts, hertz, percent, ohms, capacitance, temperature. So that's where your red lead goes for that. And because I've already got my scope in, I'm going to stack it in here. So now I've got 2 on this test point. And just to make sure everything is as it should be, I should then also use this common lead here, stack that in, and then I'll have a common ground. So now on my multimeter, I'm reading my frequency to be 0.864 hertz, which is 864 millihertz. And on my scope, oh, just missed it there. I'm getting 865 millihertz. So very, very similar. So that's how you read frequency with a scope, with a multimeter. The only thing about the scope that's a wee bit tricky is it won't measure if it's not triggered on it, as in it can't see it. So if it was like that, it can't see the frequency. You actually have to set it so it can see the wave. And when it can see the wave, it can measure the frequency. Or as I said, you can stop it, measure the periodic time, and get the frequency from that. That's that.